This is why a married man likes you but still talks about his wife. So what does it mean when a married man talks about his wife? It's perfectly normal for a married man to talk about his wife when talking to another woman. It only becomes a problem if the context in which he is doing so does not align with whom he is talking to, or if he is constantly comparing you to her. A married man to talk about his wife when talking to another woman mean different things. It totally depends on the context of the conversation. So let's address the different contexts below. He likes but he talks about his wife in a positive sentiment. If a married man likes you but talks about his wife in a positive sentiment, it means he loves his wife and is also interested sexually, romantically, and platonically in another woman, you. If he likes you but also positively talk about his wife to you, it also means that he's maybe unhappy in his marriage but still very much so committed to his wife and is looking for someone to fill the void. He flirts but overly mentions his wife. If he flirts but mentions his wife, he is seeking validation and trying to make excuses. Dating a married man who is not willing to leave his wife for you is a recipe for disaster. 89% of the time it's better you walk away, avoid getting attached to him because he will always choose his family over you. He likes you but he talks about his wife in a negative sentiment. On the other hand, if you are in love with a married man who constantly talks about his wife in a negative light, then he's likely unhappy in his marriage. In this case, he's probably wants someone to talk to for all of his frustrations. He'll try to make himself feel better by putting his wife down and making you feel like you're better than her. Dating a man who is unhappy in his marriage can be incredibly difficult. For those that are tired of waiting for him to leave, read Spell to Make Him Leave Her for me at mominkama.com, link in description. You are not sure he likes you but he talks about his wife. If you are flirting with a married man who hasn't yet made a move on you but every time you talk to him he talks about his wife, it means he is setting boundaries. He does this the same way women bring their husband into conversations with men they don't like but want to be nice with them while setting boundaries. He is trying to let you control your flirting, letting you know he is a wife, so control your feelings. It's a way of him gently letting you down and trying to let you off the hook by being completely upfront about his marital status. When a man talks bad about his wife. When a man talks bad about his wife, it's possible that he's doing this to get you to sympathize with him and thus feel closer to him. It could also be a way of devaluing her in order to make himself feel better. Some men do this as a way of coping with the feeling of being inadequate or ineffective in their relationship. In any case, it would be helpful to try and understand what might be motivating him to talk about his wife in such a negative way. Finally, he could be a chronic complainer who is never happy with anything. He flirts but mentions his wife. When a married man flirts with you and mentions his wife, he's usually trying to get validation from you. This can be a difficult situation to navigate. It's difficult because on one hand, he's showing interest in you and making you feel good. But on the other hand, he's not being honest about his feelings or intentions. If you're interested in dating a married man, you should be prepared. Be prepared for the possibility that he may never leave his wife. You'll always be second best, and you may never truly have his heart. Married man flirts then ignores me. There's a pretty good chance that this married man is flirting with you because he's feeling bored or temporarily unsatisfied in his relationship. It's possible that he's not actually interested in you, but is just looking for a way to feel excitement and stimulation again. This type of man is a type that you are guaranteed to never ever make him leave his wife for you. You should never get yourself in this type of situation. The best thing you can do is move on and find someone who will appreciate your attention. There are plenty of single guys out there who would love to date you. How to get a married man to stop talking about his wife. The best way to get a married man to stop talking about his wife is to get him to talk about her less around you. Married man flirting, it's not likely that you will be able to get him to stop talking about his wife altogether. If he does start talking about his wife, try changing the subject or walking away. Let him know that it makes you feel uncomfortable and see how he reacts. These are some of the trade-offs of getting in love with a married man. How do you know if a married man really loves you? If a married man really loves you, he will divorce his wife and will not overly ask for sex but rather wait for consensual signs. If he's not willing to do that, she says it means he only wants you as a side piece and will never fully commit to you. Mamankama also notes that a man who likes you will give his undivided attention when you're together and won't make plans that don't include you. A man who is interested in you will be open and honest about his feelings and will want to see where the relationship goes. A man who just wants sex will be more interested in sex, period. Signs a married man is sexually into you. If a man looks at you in a sexual way or makes comments about your appearance that could be interpreted as being sexual in nature, it's likely that he is drawn to you sexually. A man's true motives are difficult to decipher. Just because he opens doors for you or listens to you may not mean he is hot for you or in exclusive relationship with you. It can be difficult to tell the distinctions among the signs of a married man who is sexually attracted to you. Signs a married man is sexually attracted to you, wants to sleep with you. How do you know if a man is still in love with his wife? The concept in relationship psychology called limerence. Characterized by a state of intense craving or love for someone. The person in limerence feels an almost obsessive need to be with the other person, and often experiences intrusive thoughts about the other person. If you are concerned that your man may still be in love with his wife, you can look for signs of limerence. If you see these signs in your boyfriend, it's likely that he is still deeply in love with his wife. It's a tricky situation, you are in a bad relationship. Can a married man love another woman more than his wife? Yes, it is possible for a married man to love another woman more than his wife, but it is also possible that he is simply going through a phase or that he doesn't truly know what love is. This phenomenon is often referred to as emotional adultery or love triangles. When a man becomes emotionally involved with another woman, he may experience feelings of intense passion and excitement that he doesn't feel with his wife. As a result, he may find himself thinking about the other woman more often and wishing he could be with her instead. If you are married to a man who is having an emotional affair with another woman, it can be very difficult to deal with. If you are feeling lost and confused, there are many resources available to help you through this difficult time. Can a happily married man fall in love with someone else? Yes, it's possible for a happily married man to fall in love with someone else. One of the most commonly cited theories on why this happens is the concept of limerence, which is a psychological condition that creates feelings of intense love and passion. Limerence can be triggered by any experience that leads to positive reinforcement, such as receiving compliments, hearing expressions of affection, or being around someone who is attractive. It's important to note that limerence isn't just about physical attraction, it's also fueled by emotional connection, intimacy. So even if a happily married man only has platonic feelings for another woman, he could still experience the symptoms of limerence if he spends enough time around her. Do married men fall in love with their mistresses? Many married men do fall in love with their mistresses. Ultimately, though, whether or not a married man falls in love with his mistress depends on many factors, including the length of the affair, how much contact they have with each other outside of sex, and how strong his feelings are for his wife. If you are having an affair with a married man, be honest with yourself about your feelings and motives. If you are only in it for the sex or attention, you are likely to get hurt. But if you have developed strong feelings for him and believe he feels the same way, there is a chance that your relationship could turn into something more. Visit Mamankama. Link in description.